Hey there, what's everyone, since I'm gaming here. I'm at the PTS right now, did all the testing. I'm actually recording this intro later on. All I can say, I guess, grab a cup of coffee or something. This is going to be a little bit longer. I don't really like making longer videos because it takes time to edit, but I have to do this because there's a lot of information that needs to be shared. There's links of these things if you just want to see it by yourself, but if you want to see how it works in game, I'll show you now. There's timestamps, you can jump here and there as well if you want. It's going to be something that I did not expect it to be, but at least some of the things are heading into the right direction, but needs a little bit more buff in my opinion. You can share yours obviously in the comment section, you know, algorithm. All right, let's just start with something. What should we start with? Let's start with the determined debate. Yes, let's do that first. Now, as for the determined talent thing, which they said that determined talent will change to function like perfect determined, but the current functionality is not going away completely. So they're also adding the chess piece, which is this, I have it right now. Since they're changing how determined talent functions, they're adding the old determined talent function to the chess piece now. But the problem is if you wear this chess piece, this Iron Will chess piece, you will get the determined talent here, but where's the Headhunter? Right? Because Headhunter is a chess piece talent too, so you can only use one. So either use Headhunter and land headshots only, or use this talent and land multiple body shots to kill a target. That's pretty much what it is, because that's what it does. And there's a cooldown though. You can't just consistently land those shots. You have to wait a second, which will be pretty annoying in situations where you'll see multiple targets. But it does give you headshot damage and weapon handling though on the chess piece. Now I want to try this out. But I want to try this the old-fashioned way first. I will just check with the chess piece and also with my actual setup that I use on my live server. So I'm going to swap back to the Hasberg chess piece here. This one has a Headhunter talent, right? So we're going to use this setup and see how much damage we do with both the weapons. I have my Shroud and I have the Model 700. So let's test it out first. I'm going to try the Model 700 first because, you know, we can land some body shots with it. Let's just proc Headhunter first. So we have Headhunter active. Now I'm just going to land body shots. You'll see that it's working right now, but it's not supposed to in the next update. That's what they said. So you can see I'm consistently hitting 33 million, 33.5 million right there on the chat. You can see the damage numbers right there. It's just keep on doing that. So that's how it works in the live server as well. Now, if I swap to the Shroud here, it's supposed to do really high damage because that's what Shroud does. So let me trigger. Look at that, 67 million. Let me try to hit the higher level target again. 58 million, that was a crit. Crit is always bad for marksman rifles, usually gives you less number. 67 again, that is 29 million. On the high target, consistently hitting 67.5 on the higher level target. Why is that? Because that's how Shroud works, because high priority target. So since that is a boss target right there, that's why I'm doing that 125% of amplified damage. That's why whenever I hit the boss target, I was doing 67 million there. So yeah, it's working really good with the Headhunter and all that. So let's just swap the chess piece to the new one, which is Iron Will. Now, let me tell you something. They said that it's supposed to do competitive damage, which two talent combined, the Headhunter and Determined talent. I'm not saying this right here written. They said that, you know, along with this change, we're also buffing several brands and gear set related to marksman rifle with the goal of making Iron Will paired with other marksman rifles competitive with the current Determined plus Headhunter setup. It's supposed to be close to it. I mean, it's probably not going to beat it, but it's definitely going to be in that level. So you'll feel like, okay, you know what? It's all right. So let's see. So we're going to do the Model 700 first. Now we can do body shots with it. So we can just land body shots. So I don't have to land, you know, headshots. So as you can see, we landed a body shot. It counted as a headshot. Now I know I do have Determined talent on it. Don't worry, it won't interfere with the other talent, but if you feel like it does, I'm gonna just change it. I'm gonna change it to something like Streamline, I guess, because it's really high damage number, you know, weapon damage boost. So let's just change it to Streamline now, and let's just land it on body. It'll still count as headshot, see, because of the chess piece. So 7.6 million there, 13.7 million. Let me try on the boss, 13.7 million, 15 million. That was a crit. 7.6 million. Let's shoot again, 13.7 million. So you won't one-shot someone. You probably just have to 2 to 3 shot an enemy, which we were doing one shot all the time. But you also have to wait a second, because if you don't, your talent disappears. I mean, you can see it's on a cooldown right there, 1 second. So if you don't wait, then you will lose the buff of something like the gear set, which I'm using hotshot. You can see I lost the buff because I shot it when it was on cooldown. So that's pretty much what's going to happen. Now let's try the Shroud, because Shroud doesn't need, you know, Determined, right? It's going to hit really hard with that amplified number. So we can also do body shots with Shroud now. No need to do headshots because, you know, that's how the chess piece works. So let's try it. 23 million right there. That's the Shroud's amplified damage to the high priority target. 13 million on that because I did not wait it. I believe it was on cooldown. That's the number from Shroud. That's the number from Shroud. We were doing like 67 million, but now we're doing like 22, 23 million. And that's only because of the Shroud's talent of high priority target, the amplified damage. But it's clearly not competitive like they said it is. It's not, there's a 40 million damage difference. That's not competitive. What are you talking about? Anyways, so that's what we're gonna have to deal with now. Now, as for the new gears, we have a new gear set. We do have some named items, named gears, and weapon talents as well. 2-piece set bonus is 8% skill efficiency, which is fine. 3-piece gives you 30% of status effect, because the whole season is kind of based around status effect, I guess. 4-piece is like spontaneous combustion. That's the talent, which says that every status effect you apply has a 20% chance to also apply burn to the enemy. So something like Ride Foam, your Shock Trap, or your Bleed, whatever you're doing, those will have 20% chance to also apply burn to the enemies, which seems pretty good actually. However, it also says over here that if the status effect initially applied was burn, the enemy will also receive 25% of burn damage for the duration of the burn. So yeah, seems kind of decent, but then again, if you're using a status effect build, I would just use Eclipse Protocol because it just feels better because of the spread. This could be used in some niche kind of scenarios where you feel like you just want to add a bunch of status effect on an enemy. But I feel like this could be fun on PvP as well if it works in PvP properly, because I feel like it'll be normalized and stuff. But I don't know. I really don't know how to properly use this set currently. We just have to see, what else it can do. Like, we need to make a build on it to understand how this works properly. For the chest piece, we're getting 40% of it instead of 20% chance. It's going to be 40% chance. Now, for the backpack, we are getting more damage though. So 25% that burn damage becomes 50% burn damage. This seems nice. I mean, 25% of extra damage increase, so that's not bad. Backpack seems way better than the chest piece though. But again, still, I don't understand the gear set properly. Like, if this burn triggers this, then that's good. But if it's just a burn, like you have to use a burn to trigger this, then that's bad. That's all I can say about this. Now, as for the named items, we have this Rush Down over here, which is a Richter and Kaiser chess piece that gives you the perfect tag team talent now. So yeah, they're adding some named items on the old gears. We do have a Trick Shot, which is Imminence Armament's named item chess piece. It gives you perfectly reassigned talent. By the way, there is a rework on it. So the pistol damage was supposed to be on the third, which is 60%, but they nerfed it and they're putting it on the second set bonus, which is 48% now. It was 60% on the 3-piece set bonus though. We also have the named backpack here, which is an Orioldi backpack focused towards the marksman rifles, I guess. So we got Perfect Concussion. This one seems pretty good because you're getting 20% of weapon damage, for 5 seconds if you use a marksman rifle, like if you had line a headshot. I feel like this was amplified damage, but not anymore or something. I don't know what's going on with this damage, because usually if it's amplified, they'll say amplified damage, but I guess it's just normal, because if it was not amplified, that would be nice. And if it isn't, please make it amplified. That's all I can say. And we also have another backpack, which is called Keeper. It is a 5-element tactical, so that gives you Perfect Protector. Now, this one's actually pretty sweet though. I really like Protector talent because you don't have to do anything. You just need a shield, and when the shield gets damaged, you will give bonus armor to your entire group, to yourself as well, but the perfect version is way better now. As you can see, it's 25% of bonus armor to you, but 35% of your bonus armor to your entire group with 3 seconds of the timer, but the cooldown is also 3 seconds, so it's 100% kind of uptime. And since you're becoming a tank, and nowadays tank will get the aggro, well, this will be very handy, because you can see 511 has a rework with the protection from elite, increased threat, and has protection, so that's pretty good actually. So if you're just becoming a tank and you want to just take all the shots, this will be good. So you get shot more, you give everybody bonus armor. This is not bad. Now, we also have some weapon talents, which I don't know what to do with it. We got this weapon, it's the Streamer. This gives you the perfect bowling point. The first 75% of your magazine will have minus 100% crit chance. The rest will have 100% with the same talent there too. And there will be the normal version of the talent, which I believe it's 80% instead of 75%. Now, as for the gear set and the brand set kind of rework or change that they're doing in the season, they said that gear sets will be rebalanced around the idea that more difficult a set to use, like achieve its full potential, the more it should give you back in return. And for this season, which is the Red Horizon season, they're starting to do that, especially for the red core, gear set pieces. And they're also including something like Exuro and True Patriot within that. True Patriot definitely needs a buff, to be honest. Now, as for the blue core and the yellow core gear set, they said it'll come later because they need to do more to it, I guess, to balance it or whatever. But for the brand sets, they definitely did the changes, and they said that they're removing a lot of set bonuses, or the attributes basically, which is like shock resistance, a flat health stat, incoming repairs, and even swap speed. So they're removing all of this, like they will no longer exist in the game. But they're also adding protection from elites in the brand sets, which is pretty sweet. I've seen like 5-element tactical and Bellstone having protection from elite, and then they're also making sure that each weapon archetype, like the brand sets, are kind of getting their identity. Like if you see Fenris and you see set bonus 1, 2, and 3, you'll feel like, okay, this was meant for an assault rifle. Like if you look something like Sokolov or Petrov, you'll know that it's an SMG and LMG respectively. So it's things like that, and also like imminence armaments for like pistols. So that's what they're doing, and they're, like I said, adding increased threat into a gear set, so you can be a proper tank now. I hope we can do that. So every enemy will focus on you. Since you have the most survivability, they should just target you, because right now, even if you just use a huge amount of survivability, regen, protection from elite or whatever, and you stand in front of the NPC, they'll still shoot your DPS. So that is pretty annoying. So it's nice to see that change. So it'll be nice. But yeah, all the set bonuses that has been changed, you can see. I'll put a link if you want to go check by yourself. You can do that, or you can pause the video and check it as well. But I do like the 511, like I said, the protection from elite. Then you have the increased threat on the 2-piece set bonus, and 30% has protection, plus the Bellstone giving you 30% protection from elite on 3-piece set bonus, which is kind of huge as well, which is nice. And there are a lot of other things that are changing, like for example, they're buffing the damage of the sets that gives you damage for a particular weapon, like Fenris for assault rifle, it's now 12%. Badget Tough is 12% for shotguns, same with SMG, the Sokolov, all of that. So they're buffing those things, which is nice to see. But 12% feels a bit weird. I mean, why not just make it 15%? Like 15% feels like a nice number. You could do that. I mean, it's not going to break the game. Come on, give 3% more to it. Like, give it just 15%. It seems nice, There's a lot of things that they're changing. They're also changing the set piece bonuses of gear sets, something like True Patriot, Aces and Eights, Breaking Point, Hotshot, and even the new gear set, the Ember Engine. I guess it's not really a change because it didn't exist. It's coming now, so whatever. But yeah, so they're adding quite a bit of the things, which again seems nice. Maybe a little bit of a buff wouldn't be so hurtful, We get that weapon damage to 15%, for example, because there are a lot of brands that are just collecting dust and they're just useless, Now they actually have a dedicated role to play. Like you can be a tank and use 511 tactical, and like Bellstone, you'll have like 200% threat, increased threat. Hopefully the enemies will shoot you and not your DPS. Yeah. Now, as for the modifiers, I don't really like to talk about modifiers that much because every season it changes, it doesn't stay there forever. So if I kind of like a modifier and next season is changing, it's going away, I feel disappointed. So yeah, but this season modifier is actually pretty interesting, and I feel like a lot of you guys will be interested in using at least one of this for sure, especially the Fiery Aura. This one gives you 65% of damage resistance at max level, by the way. Over here it shows 25 because it's not max level. But yeah, when you have it max level, which is level 5, you'll get 65% damage resistance for 30 seconds when you activate it, and you'll also get 25% of extra damage resistance if you're sprinting. So it's like 90% of damage resistance when you have this active and you're running around, pretty much. And then also you will burn enemies within 10 meters of you when this is active. So it's kind of fun, but I feel like people will use it for their damage resistance. For sure. The next one, we get a lot of headshot damage from it. I believe 50% headshot damage when at level 5. And you're also going to burn the enemies next to the target that you shot on the head. You don't need a kill, you just need to land a headshot, and this will burn enemies within 10 meters. So everybody next to him will burn, which is, I guess, nice, whatever. Plus, for the third one, which is the assigned shield and delivered, you'll get like 50% or was it 25%? I believe 25% of skill efficiency. And also you'll get like special weapon damage, range, shield health, and shield active regeneration. So as long as you have a shield with you, it's going to give you all of this stuff. Plus it also works for your normal weapon. which is going to refill your ammo. And it's going to refill like out of thin air. Like it won't take it from your reserve. It's just going to give you ammo out of thin air. So if you use it with a flamethrower, you see what I'm going with this? Yeah, it's going to be hilarious for that 35 seconds if you use it with a flamethrower. You'll have a lot of regen for your shield and health, and then special weapon damage, signature weapon damage, and also the range. So you can just use the flamethrower. It'll be hilarious to use it, especially if they enable a global event, which is like Golden Bullet with this. If they please do this, yeah, it's going to be fun for that global event when you activate this. But I feel like most people will just use the Fiery Aura because of the resistance. Now let's just finally talk about the Dark Zone a little bit. Like we do have the Toxic Dark Zone, which is staying, so that's good. It's like a permanent thing. They will be removing the sample canisters and the surge mechanics, you know, the ones that in the season right now. So they're gonna remove that. However, there will be more factions in those Dark Zone now. So Black Tusk will be there and other factions will be there, which is good. But there's one more quality of life they're adding in there, is that the toxic thing will go away when you extract something from the, you know, extraction zones, which is nice. So you don't have to leave the Dark Zone to remove the toxic bars. So that's pretty good. And also one more thing, that your PvE gears will function like PvE gears. It's not going to be nerfed like how, you know, it was or it is right now. So you will be able to use full potential of your striker stacks or you know, Heartbreaker or something like that. It'll work. However, prototype won't work though. It's still like raids and incursion. It's kind of normalized. Now we do have a new Dark Zone coming in, which is Blackout Dark Zone. If you're a PvE player, stay away from it. Simple as that. You could go try it. Don't listen to me. You could go try it. But when things happen to you, then you will remember that I said to you that don't go there. You know what I mean? Because there is no cap in it. People will be running around with crazy high SHD, with prototype gears, augments and everything, and they will have perfect stats on their prototype gears. Because if you find a prototype gear and you have like one maxed out stats, you're happy with it. There are people that have every single stats maxed out. They have their augments maxed out, everything. You will see people running around with quantum maxed out over there, and you're not gonna do any damage to them, and they'll just melt you. So be careful if you're going in there. That's all I can say. They're forcing you to go in there because of the rewards, I guess, because it does feel nice. You know, you do get the exotic components still over there. Like if you're doing challenging landmark and you're opening the crates, there's 33% chance to get the exotic component from it. If you're taking down a boss from challenging difficulty, it's 40% chance to give you exotic component. But if it's a heroic landmark, then the crate becomes 40% chance and the boss becomes 48% chance. And on top of that, this is where they want you to fight for the prototype gears. They will drop prototype gears over there. So every single enemy you take down will have a chance. Normal enemies will have 0.5% chance with a mid stat kind of rolls. Elite enemies on the challenging, you know, difficulty, they'll have also 1% chance with a mid stat. But elite enemies on heroic will have 1% chance on a high stat roll, and bosses on challenging will have 1% chance on mid stat roll. But bosses on heroic landmarks will have 2% chance for a high stat roll drop. I mean, I wouldn't say this is the best place to farm prototype gear, but I guess this is for PvP players, people who never play PvE, I guess. That's what they're trying to do, because if you really want prototype gear, escalation. You can just do tier 5 escalation. You know, you get a prototype gear, you'll get recalibration soon. You know, you can do that. They just want you to fight for it because it'll drop as a contaminated item and you have to extract it. That's why I said, if you're a PvE player and you really want prototype gear, this is not the way. Go to escalation. Not from here. This is not for you. Trust me, there will be people waiting for you to go in there. So that's pretty much the thing I can say about this PTS. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'll do more testing. I'll try to check out some old builds, see how it works. Maybe some crazy stuff will work. One more thing is not in the PTS, by the way, is the manhunt weapon. So I won't be able to tell you what it does. So it's not there. It just doesn't exist. But so far, all I can say, apart from the Blackout Dark Zone or anything, I mean, the Toxic Dark Zone change is really good. So it's going to be there. And the Modifier seems really nice, especially the resistance one. And we do have a lot of rework, which I feel like needs a little bit of buff, you know, in the weapon damage, just a little tiny bit, just a little bit. That'll be nice. But otherwise, yeah, it's good. Some useless Brand Set will become useful now, finally, I guess. Unless people say that don't run tank in my team. That's a different scenario. I feel like we need a dedicated tank build, which just not give you regen or anything, but also buffs team's damage by a lot, like something like a Future Initiative does, you know? So then it will be good. I mean, we definitely need one. Anyways, so that's pretty much it for the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I will see you guys in the next one. Till then, peace.